or just plain exhaustion, anxiety, things like that.
Being on the road in a band when you're a young person, all those things apply.
No, and it makes people really susceptible to stuff like that. So I always, when I talk to people that are dealing with negative aspect haunts, I'm like, do you suffer from any of these things? And you can't be judgmental because it changes the vibration within yourself when it's like, when you're feeling a certain way or when you do certain types of like substances that, will deplete you and change your vibration. It leaves you open to lower vibrational energies coming in. And stigmata, I know they associate that with like the execution of Christ on the cross, but there are physical aspects of a possession that happens. You'll start getting burns on your skin because the entry levels of where like the for example, your chakra system, it resonates different types of frequencies, and based off of what's open, there are actual extensions of your chakras throughout your nervous system, like little ley lines within your body, and they can get charged so hot that you will get scars or get, you'll get like, I know people that were like, oh, I had like such a bad time, like with it, like having a hard time with their chakra work. And then all of a sudden they get like it's not like nerve damage, but they'll lose feeling in the parts of their bodies for like a long period of time because their internal ley lines and chakras are out of alignment. So if you're having a really strong, like low frequency experience, and maybe it happens subconsciously, like in your sleep, you will get like these points, like where, you'll get like a friction that it gets so hot. I don't know if it would like cut or burns or things like that. And yeah, I've seen people also get, their body anomalies like that from doing Reiki, not knowing how to do Reiki properly, that they'll like charge their patients too much, and they'll get like, without even touching the person, get like bruises and redness in their skin. And that's all just like energy transference. It's crazy. But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that about you. That's a really cool story to talk about.
I've only had a few like experiences like that, but that was certainly one of them that I never forgot.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Well, when I was a kid, after we moved into my stepmom's house, that house was haunted, like with some negative energy, and it would. I never saw the actual figure. My sister would see him, but I could feel this like really bad energy. And my mom, thank goodness, was like your parents, where she was open to that. She didn't be like, that's just crazy. That's not true. And she was the one who taught me about salt. So she gave me salt to put in all the corners of the room, because one day I was lying in bed and I had stuck, because the door used to just always open by itself and it freaked me out. So I had stuck a marble on the door jamb, and then it went flying off across and hit the wall across from the door, and the door opened, and I was like totally flipped out. So my mom gave me the salt and was like, you put this in the corners of your room. And she told me some other things to do. I don't remember everything now, but that kind of seemed to keep the evil spirit at bay. But to be honest, I don't know if it's evil spirit, evil energy, whatever it is, it didn't feel good. Let's put it like that.
Very negative. Yeah.
Yeah. And so whenever we moved out of that house, I was like, so glad. And even now, sometimes when I go home, I'll like run down that street where that house is and just like, I just don't have a good feeling about that place.
And there's a new family there now, probably.
Yeah, exactly. That energy is their issue, though. It's no longer mine. But yeah, so I have had experiences with energies and things, but I wouldn't consider myself to be someone who's particularly sensitive to it. But I have experienced it. So yeah.
That's cool. I love that. I think a lot of people have experiences more and more now, finding more people have had experiences. And I think that's because vibrationally speaking, we are all starting to awaken. We're growing in vibration. And I'm seeing that now, like a symptom of that is, people flipping their shit over inequality, because now more and more people doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, what background you are, they're not going to let that happen anymore. And that is a frequency change. That is now a new generation of individuals that have a raised vibrational frequency that now expect a new reality to fit their vibration. And that's why we have this big clash, because a lot of the people that are still in office are older generations that have been raised on a lower vibrational frequency, and they're inept to growing. They don't want to grow, or they're being kept at a certain way, or just, I don't know. There's a lot. I could go deep into that whole conspiracy theory.
As upsetting as this time is, and as upsetting as it feels, I mean, the one good part of it is that it's because so many people are pushing and want a new reality, and they won't accept going back to the old reality. So I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah. It's so on that level, it's pretty cool, even though it feels upsetting sometimes to see what's going on in the news, you know?
It's upsetting to watch, but at the same time, I'm like, this is the catalyst to change. Like, I'm very excited to see the how people's true colors are coming out now, and that's going to change it. Like, this is just in time. All of the shit that's going down right now in the world, viruses and riots and all this shit, the viruses stems from the mistreatment and disrespect of animal life. When we start, consuming things that we don't need to consume, like mass amounts of consumption of meats that humanly we don't need. And so then you start having a viral outbreak due to that. That's a huge sign. And I don't know how many viral outbreaks we need to have before people start rioting over the way we handle animals. Like, that's going to be another thing. It's like, you're literally killing off like hundreds of thousands of people all over the world because you are not handling animals, and, you're disrespecting their bodies and, consuming them in a very grotesque way that makes people sick, and then you have now. Yeah. I mean, it's all like, I think all of this is a symptom of, humans growing a little bit. We're learning now more than ever, like, what the consequences are to doing things poorly, So people are growing, vibrationally speaking, growing away from eating meat, because that's actually a very low frequency type substance to eat. I do think that, I personally do eat meat, but I only eat certain types of meat. And even then, I'm like, I grew up in Florida where, like, literally everything that I ate for the most part was captured or killed by an individual that took that animal out of the wild. It wasn't until I moved to California that everything that was meat that I was eating, and then I started, I steered away from it because I actually get grossed out when I go to the meat aisles and see everything in plastic. First of all, plastic is fucking awful for you. And having everything that you consume, like, wrapped in plastic. So I try not to purchase anything that comes encased in plastic. That's like one of my things. So everything I buy is like the lesser evil of plastic. So I buy everything that comes in like a carton or aluminum, minimal plastic. I go to the produce section. I try to buy everything that's like, I don't care. People are like, oh, I don't want people to touch my stuff because bacteria. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's the bacteria that's going to make your defenses higher, not the viruses that are going to crash your whole system and kill off droves of people. So I'll take that little bit of dirt on my carrots. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take it. I take dirt on my carrots over plastic. Absolutely. So,
oh man, we have gone all over the place with this conversation. We've hit all the points.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate to wrap it up, but I think we've got to, just for time.
Yeah.
So tell people where they can find you on the interwebs.
Well, I have a Twitter account, but I really never go on it. I never tweet. I'm always on Instagram though.
Okay,
Tweeting
Instagram.
sucks. Yeah, I don't like the format of Twitter. Although I have a Twitter account, it sucks. But yeah, my Twitter account is slaughter_Susan, but don't even bother. I'm Susan the Dragon Witch, all one word, Susan the Dragon Witch on Instagram. And you can follow my platform, The Dark Zone, on Facebook, which I work with other paranormal investigators and experts in the field, and we create our own content. And you'll get updates on that through Facebook at The Dark Zone. And yeah, those are pretty much my two outlets that I pretty much active
how can
on.
people listening support you? What's the best way? Just following you on the socials and stuff, or is there anything
Follow The Dark Zone on Facebook, follow Susan the Dragon Witch on Instagram, and watch Paranormal Caught on Camera on the Travel Channel. I'm shooting season 3 right now, and I do believe season 2 is about to end, but it's Sunday nights on the Travel Channel, so check it out. Paranormal Caught on Camera. And so that's what I'm currently doing right now.
Awesome. Oh man, I can't wait to watch that. I need some more paranormal activity in my life.
Yeah, you could call it in. Just don't regret it when it happens.
Actually, maybe I take that back. Good paranormal activity.
Right. That or just take some DMT and you'll have a real big paranormal experience.
Okay, that's definitely another episode that we'll do together. That's a whole other episode. Well, Susan Slaughter, thank you so much for being my first guest. I feel like you were so gracious with your time, and I'm just so grateful that you were here and that you were so open with all of us. And I look forward to our next conversation.
Oh, thank you so much, Coops. I love being your first guest, and I'll come back and talk more smack whenever you want.
All right, deal. All
right, girl. I love you.
Love you. Bye, girl.
Bye.
Wow, that was such a great conversation with Susan. And I think for me, there were two big takeaways, among others, but one of them was put yourself out there. Even if you're a total beginner, offer to be of service, offer to help someone who's further along than you are, because you have nothing to lose. And if they say yes, then you gain valuable experience that will help you on the way to your dreams. And the second big takeaway for me was be the most you can be, because I feel like so many people, try to fit themselves into some mold in order to get the part or to get the job. When really, if you're just you, the part or the job that's looking for you will be able to find you a lot easier than if you're trying to be something you're not. So those were the two big takeaways for me. I can't thank you enough for listening. I know there are hundreds of podcasts out there, and I feel so honored that you chose to listen to mine. You can view the show notes and the links to everything that was mentioned in this episode at my website, which is gxrlpod.com, girlpod.com. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe to the podcast, give us a review, share it with someone who might enjoy it. And I'm going to leave you guys with a song of mine. This song actually comes out today, and it's a song by my old band, Bang Sugar Bang. And we hadn't recorded a record in 13 years, I guess. And last summer, we all got together in Madison, Wisconsin, and recorded a record. And it was really special, really healing for us to all get together and record together again. And this song is called Little Bit of Hope. And that's what I wish for all of us as we go forward in our week, that we all have a little bit of hope. I'll see you next time.